Y'all know what time it is. Hit it, Gregor. Da-na-na. Da-na-na. Boo-doo-wee. Da-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. All right. And welcome back to another edition of the IRL podcast with Greg and Mike. This is in real life, and we are not NPCs, and we certainly don't glitch
at all.
Nothing. Shut up. We don't glitch. What the fuck they're talking about? Anyway, thank you for coming back for another episode. Again, we are advocates for, and this is a safe haven of, the
differently abled.
Because we are ourselves.
We are, in fact, differently abled.
Yeah, and he's got a lot less toes than normal people, and I look like... Will Sass's little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, because I found my long-lost twin on the internet. You're welcome. So I got to address a few things, okay? So we didn't address it the last episode. And I know everything is like, look, cockeyed. And when the first episode, we had like a slanted freaking Iron Maiden flag that we got rid of, by the way. Yeah.
The overwhelming feedback that we got is that everyone hated the Iron Maiden flag.
Yeah. So if you notice, no Iron Maiden flag. So I decided to come up with something, and I didn't address it last episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to keep the middle blank so we can put our logo up there. And then on my side of the screen, I'm going to start every episode, I'm going to put up another piece of flair or another item that represents Mike, right? And on Greg's side, he's going to put something that represents Greg and the things that he's into.
Yes.
So episode 2, if you notice, behind me is this Sonics pennant. And this Sonics pennant is important to me because this is the very, very first Seattle Sonics pennant my dad ever bought me when I was very, very, very little. Like barely old enough to remember it. But I remember going to a handful of Sonics games around 5, 6, 7 years old, around those years, because my dad was like, it's the cheapest sporting event we could go to at the time. But that's where I fell in love with Jack Sigma. So it's funny that you point out Jack Sigma, and I was like, I have to find my Sonics pennant now. And like, I've been cleaning my dad's room because he's in hospice. And my son found all of my old pennants like stuffed in his closet. And I was like, oh my God, that's my old Sonics pennant. I'm like, that's my first piece of flair.
That is such a great story.
So,
yeah,
I'm like, I remember the Weedle. I'm going to try to find that. So Seattle had the Seattle Sonics before they had, what was it, Sasquatch?
Okay.
Or what was it?
I don't know.
Sonics had like Bigfoot the Sasquatch guy when the Seattle Sonics were here.
Okay.
That was their mascot. But before that, they had the Weedle. And I'm going to try to find a picture. But it was the Weedle in the Needle. And I just remember thinking, like, that is a terrifying mascot from when you're a little kid. My dad's like, go down and hug the Weedle. And I'm like, eh. I was, like, terrified of the Weedle. But I got over my fear, and I went down and hugged the Weedle. And I got, like, a little Sonics coloring book. And I cherished that Sonics coloring book for a long time.
Wow.
Totally colored out the lines. Didn't keep everything green and yellows. Very bad coloring kid, but...
Wow.
But that's the story of the Sonics pennant. And then, Gregor, what's the story behind yours?
So, my jersey behind me is of Willie McCovey. It's a road jersey from 1973. I've been a Giants fan my entire life, and I've got like 11 different jerseys, but this was the very first one that I ever bought, and I wore it like for a whole year.
Oh my God, and we just put thumbtack holes in it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's okay.
All right. Sweet. I don't feel bad about that at all now. God damn it.
No. But I will say this, like when your dad took you to Sonics games, my dad took me to a Warriors game, like back when they had Rick Barry. I don't know if you remember Rick Barry.
Yes.
The guy that shot free throws like that.
Yep.
He was my idol. I was like Rick Barry, like on the playground shooting free throws.
Back when Goose Gossage was doing underhand and trying to make it sidearm. Another old school reference.
Yeah, Dan Quisenberry.
Yeah, dude, another underhand guy.
Kent Tekulve.
Yeah, what was up with all them guys? I'm like, dude, they have the weirdest release.
Yeah.
Dude, their sliders would go up.
Yeah.
You know, that was a crazy... When I saw that shit on TV as a kid, I'm like, what is happening?
No, it was awesome.
How do you hit that?
It was seriously awesome.
They were like pop-up masters.
They were good for like one batter.
Right? Like I just literally... My arm is literally hanging down by my ankle
other than that, it's like they had one motion the whole time, so you knew exactly where the ball was going to be. So it was like after like the first hitter that they'd face, it'd be like, here you go. It's going to be right there. It's just
Exactly.
it's just coming funny.
I only have the one
right
uphill slider. That's all I got.
Yeah, one trick pony.
So, in this episode, I wanted to gift Greg something for our piece of flair for this episode, since we didn't address it on the last episode. And if you notice over in the corner, he has an Ichiro bobblehead that's still in the box.
Still in the box.
Still in the box. Mine's not. Mine's on display in my little Mariners, like, little... It's certainly not an altar. Shut up. It's not an altar.
Your little shrine?
It's not... No, it's just...
Do you have any of Edgar Martinez's blood there or anything?
I'm going to have to plead the fifth on that.
Okay.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
But anyway, so that bobblehead is special to the podcast because that was the very first game we ever went to, and we stood in line forever, and then we got into the stadium, and then we had to stand in line forever in a second line just to get the fucking bobbleheads. And the whole time the guys are like, "That's probably going to be gone." I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking employees are you?
Yeah.
Like, hey, little kid, you're going to home sad.
Yeah.
You're going to cry. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
So we're like, where's the... So we wait in line to get inside.
Yeah.
And then we're inside, and we're like, where's the line for the Ichiro bobblehead? And the guy, he goes, it's over there, but I wouldn't do it if I were you.
Yeah, and like, of course, there's a lot of people, so we're like, oh shit. And of course, we got our bobbleheads.
We did.
So, but this is how important that his friendship is to me, and this podcast is to me. So, when my son Ian was in middle school, I started going to Mariners games on my birthday, or around my birthday. It was like August 8th was my birthday, so I'd try to go to the 7th, 8th, or 9th. I would definitely try to go to the 8th, because for 4 years, they did Mariners Hall of Fame bobblehead games on my birthday.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
And 2 of those years, me and Ian got one. Well, actually, me and Ian got one the first year, and then the second year, me and Kim took all 6 of our kids. Everybody got a bobblehead.
Wow.
So, 2 of my kids didn't want their bobbleheads. Now, these are over 12 years old.
Wow.
My favorite Mariner pitcher when I was a kid, Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer.
He was the Oral Hershiser of our team. Guy could not throw fast, but he could throw slower and fucking slower and fucking slower. So you remember the Bugs Bunny cartoon where it's
1,
like
2, 3, you're up.
1, 2, 3, you're up on one pitch?
Yeah.
That was basically Jamie Moyer for the Mariners. They're like, and his changeup's at 72. Next pitch, and again it's another off speed at 65. Next pitch, another off speed at 57 miles an hour. Might as well have been underhand, folks.
Dude, that was a great Harry Doyle, by the way.
Thank you. I practiced that.
That was
sometimes
great.
in front of a mirror.
So you watched Will Sasso do Harry Doyle?
Essentially, yes.
Dude,
so that is for you.
That is so... Wow, it's a left-handed pitcher, too. I had no...
Right?
And he pitched till he was like 42, I want to say. And his fastball was like 79 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was fucking slow, dude.
Thank you very much.
But he was a
nice
surgeon. Dude, it was all about location, and command. He was a genius.
This has never been out of the box.
Never been out of the box. And remember, the other guy was Randy Johnson.
Right.
So one night you're facing 103 mile an hour fastballs, and the next night 62 mile an hour changeups.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
Wrap your brain around that. And that's not it. I was going to put this up as my piece of flair, but I already have one of these as well. And this was the year that Sweet Lou Piniella got inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame. And all the kids have theirs, and some of them don't care. So,
wow. Thank you so
you
much.
get one of my pieces of flair.
Wow.
So there you go, bro.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
So as the podcast grows, your collection of bobbleheads you never take out of the box are going to have to grow. But I'll have mine out of the box so everybody will know
that is great.
What they fucking look like.
This is all like my Hall of Fame right here.
There we go.
Damn.
The Leaning Tower of baseball.
There you go. Wow. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You're welcome, brother. Yeah. High-fiving white guys and shit.
All right.
So, oh yeah, don't forget about our brothies. Our brothies?
Our brothies.
Our brothies
boys.
Well, that's what you call them in New Zealand.
Yeah,
your bro hands.
That's what Blaine calls
wearing
them.
the dackers. Hey, April. You wearing the dackers, April? You're hanging out with your brothers.
I've never heard a New Zealand accent before.
Some dude's going to walk up to us and be like, oh, I'm from New Zealand. And he's going to punch me in the face.
He's going to be like 6'5".
Yeah, that's for them dackers cabinets.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you, New Zealand.
Maybe.
I tried to be a lover, not a fighter. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and check out our brothers, Pigskin Blitz and Lone Stars Lounge, and their Shake and Bake Boys. And you might see one of us on there. Or maybe both of us.
Or maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
If you like football, we might be talking about that kind of stuff.
It all depends on who wins this weekend between the Cowboys and the Niners.
Yeah. Who's playing tonight?
Don't know.
No, it's Thursday night, by the way.
Yeah.
So I probably won't be able to upload this until like Tuesday next week. So if any of our stories are outdated, I apologize ahead of time. So, Gregory, did you know... This is going to blow your mind. And you can definitely look this up if you want. Oh, no, I forgot. Shit. I am your host, that guy named Mike.
That was all intro.
And to my right...
And I'm like going, I got the soda right here.
We're drinking my Silent Bob, the hero life mate of mine, and the Robin of my Batman. It's that other guy.
I'm Greg.
He's Greg, and this show is not sponsored by...
As I get stuff all over your keyboard. LaCroix.
Apricot.
Apricot.
He's got apricot.
Apricot.
Apricot. The fucking asshole of fucking tree fruits. Legit, apricot's like, look at me, I look all tasty like a nectarine, but I'm sour.
But I'm kind of
like, yeah, he's kind of a cunt of like...
I'm kind of leathery too.
Yeah, it's like Peach's fucking asshole little cousin that just like runs around and like falcon punches everybody in the balls. Cup check, cup check. That's fucking apricot.
How's your pear tree doing?
Yeah,
doing
good.
How's your dog ball tree doing?
Yeah, they've all... You know what? My lawn is littered with old men...
Old man dog balls?
Yep.
Another story for another time.
I'll definitely put a picture up there.
Yeah.
So, you can bet that. So,
anyway.
and then this show is not brought to you by the most disgusting LaCroix that you can buy other than like cucumber, fucking prickleberry, pineapple, pickle pears.
It all sucks. It all sucks.
So, mine is Cayman Jack Strawberry Margarita.
Ooh.
Yes, and in real life, we're not simulations. And when I say Margarita, we're definitely not glitching.
You know, when we do the glitch thing, I should probably like freeze too. Because you're going, and I'm like,
I'll just black you out. I'll just put the picture of Matrix Mitch right where you are. You'll just be Matrix Mitch.
I didn't know that was the name.
Yeah, it's the Matrix Mitch glitch.
I didn't know that.
You didn't read the word?
No.
You just look at the pictures? You're Donald Trump, man. You're just like, I need my briefings in picture form. The wordsies and such keep me all confused and what's nuts. So anyway, you're welcome.
I just had like so many things go through my head right there. I'm not going to say any of them at all.
I guarantee you, Donald Trump's never in his life said, and what's nuts. Never said it.
And what's nuts.
Yep. So, and again, if you guys didn't know, this is how we test whether or not we want these guys to be our sponsors. And last time, we had 2 thumbs up.
We did.
Yeah.
We did for the sugar water soda.
Yeah, and then, the Silver City Brewery, you're welcome for the free plug.
Cheers.
So, cheers. Let's see if it's worth it. Oh, not bad. It's not, like...
That was not bad. That was not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well...
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but not horrible.
Coming from a guy that, puts freaking chopped up tofu on freaking wheat bread and loves to let the juices soak into it.
That's not a lie. That is not a lie.
That's literally one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
No,
why? You fucking hate your taste buds?
My taste buds hate me. Well, it's actually symbiotic hate, pretty much. Yeah. No, I mean,
the first time I saw you open that, I was like, that cannot be real, dude. Humans do not eat that shit.
For those of you who don't know, and most of you do, but since we're picking up new listeners, it's new. There was a point in my life where I weighed 400 pounds and I was a raging alcoholic. And since then, I changed my life, met the woman of my dreams, my blushing bride, got married, and I lost 200 pounds. And I stopped drinking almost 5 years ago. I'm coming up on 5 years soon. And I eat very, 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 very healthy food. Tofu every day, leafy greens, all that crap. Because you can say that I want to live a healthy life, which in actuality, the mind of ill repute, I need to outlive a lot of people that I hate.
Yeah. And when he poops, he just poops out perfectly folded Trader Joe's bags.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
I'm thinking about going on Shark Tank.
I'm just a paper bag dispenser, folks. I'm like a Pez dispenser, but it comes out the other end. And dude, there's no way I'm gonna be able to Photoshop that. I'll try though. Like the smack dab in the middle of India.
Smack dab in the middle of India, which is in the confluence of the Amazon, the Colorado, and the Rio Grande, uphill stream to the Baltic Sea.
Nope. It goes from the Caspian River into the Caspian Sea, which feeds into the Black Sea, which is on top of Mount Everest, which is why you have to swim uphill.
Okay,
It just makes sense. And now that put the
I didn't have
the map up there.
I didn't have Trump's Sharpie to fix the map.
You didn't? Oh, that's okay because I had AI just do the perfect map for us. I'll just leave it up there so you can like fully inspect it. And you know what?
Dude, it's going to take you like a year to come up with that.
I know when you like visually scrutinize this thing, it does not at all resemble Middle Earth from fucking Hobbit with a bunch of Sharpie written all over it. Shut up! It's perfectly... AI did that. I swear,
Sure.
AI, it's
okay.
AI.
Okay.
Thank you,
What do we got?
Thank you, Midjourney. Okay, so, did you know? Dude, did you know? Okay, so you know when you go outside and you look at the stars? You know the band that you see? Everybody's like, oh, look, it's the Milky Way! That's the Milky Way band! No, that's not the Milky Way. We actually can't see the flat disk of the Milky Way from our perspective. That band is actually another smaller galaxy that our galaxy has been gobbling up for fucking millions of years.
I had no idea. Where do you find this stuff? I have no idea.
I go deep dark into the fucking crevices of the internet and find shit that I cannot find anywhere on normal. Basically, again, I gotta go to Snopes. Snopes is basically how I vet everything. If Snopes says it's real, it is fucking chiseled in granite. Snopes cannot be wrong. I love you, Snopes. Sponsor us.
Thanks for the check.
Yes.
Now you have
And
to.
so-
now they have to send us the check.
Right? So
For
then
their
the reason I found this out was because this guy was talking about all the like old ancient Anunnaki shit, right? And the whole plant
Anunnaki?
Anunnaki. You never heard of the Anunnaki?
No.
Oh my god, that's a whole fucking podcast. I could do a 3-hour podcast just on that.
Never heard of it.
The Anunnaki.
No, I haven't. I didn't hear of it the first time you said it either.
Okay, so never heard of Zechariah Sitchin?
No.
You never heard of Sumerian cuneiform tablets?
Maybe.
All right,
No!
well, I'm not going to get too far into it.
Okay.
But they're the ancient Anunnaki. If you ever watch Ancient Aliens, it's probably you don't watch Ancient Aliens, or you would know about the Anunnaki.
Looks like I'm going to have to now.
Yeah. So again, we are not saying we're supportive of all these theories. We're just bringing them to you so you can ascertain your own whatever subjective truth in life.
Yeah.
So the reason this is important is because the ancient Sumerian scrolls that are literally the oldest shit that we've found, other than Göbekli Tepe.
Are the Sumerian scrolls from Sumeria?
Yes, indeed.
Got it.
Man,
Nailed
dude,
it.
fucking
Knowledge right here.
archaeologist.
Knowledge.
Fucking Indiana Jones. I'm sitting next to Indiana Jones.
I knew
right
that.
now.
I knew that.
So, in these stories, right, they say that the Anunnaki came from a planet called Nibiru. And Nibiru has its own little red dwarf sun that actually is in our solar system, right? But our solar system goes like this. Well, its eclipse goes like this. So we're basically, and what's fucking crazy about this is science has basically found this fucking star. They're like, yeah, no, this star's real. We're actually in a binary system. So we actually have 2 stars. We're in a binary system, dude. We have one yellow giant or whatever. It's not a giant. We have like the medium-sized sun, right?
Okay.
Medium-sized star.
Yeah.
Then we have this red dwarf that goes this way around our sun. And that this planet X, Nibiru, is one of the planets that's going around that star. And that race of giant humans, which is in the Bible and all these other traditions, right?
I knew that.
Like David and Goliath, right?
Right.
Because they're like basically human beings, but just a lot bigger than us and super powerful and whatever. The ancient gods of the ancient world.
Right. Okay.
Ancient Greek god, whatever, right?
Right.
So they're finding this. And that's how they figured this out. They're like, the only way this could be possible was this star and this planet must have been a part of this other galaxy like forever ago. And when our galaxy started eating this galaxy, so our galaxy's here, this galaxy's coming in and basically being swept into this galaxy. So it's like this right now. And it's basically going to be absorbed into our galaxy. And then all those stars will intervene. And like, what's crazy is they're like, this could possibly explain why tens of thousands of years ago, shit started fucking colliding in our solar system and exploding and creating the rings of Saturn and the rings of Jupiter. And that's why we have all these satellites around the planets that are just big chunks of rock and they're not round. They're like, dude, this was a giant like ping pong ball game in our solar system millions of years ago. And this fucking star somehow got trapped in the gravitational pull of our star. And while the other shit left and went somewhere else, it got trapped here by our sun's gravity.
Wow.
And that these beings, the Anunnaki, basically were so far advanced that they were super technologically advanced, but they had already destroyed their atmosphere. And they figured out we need water, gold, and something else. So they came here, they're like, holy shit, this little tiny planet is fucking perfect. Has all the water we need, tons of gold, and boron, whatever the other shit they needed. I can't remember what it was. But they came here, supposedly, over 200,000 years ago, basically started to mine for all this shit themselves so they could powderize the gold into like atomized gold. It's like talcum powder, but it's real gold.
Why is it always gold?
Because they realized because it's such a conductive thing,
okay.
They needed it for probably electronics, communication devices. I mean, NASA uses gold to fucking... We wouldn't be able to get into space and go to the moon if it wasn't for gold.
Well, just ask the people in India.
Exactly. Their instruments were covered for it for a reason.
Right.
Right? It blocks radiation, all sorts of shit,
okay.
right? So they're using it, they're basically spraying this shit in their atmosphere to fix their global warming problem or whatever it was.
Wow.
So what they did was their regular people were like, hey man, this fucking sucks. We don't want to keep doing this work. This is fucking hard. This is hard physical labor. We're dying and shit. And they're like, all right, well, we got these other beings, these other like demigod-like guys that they work with us and shit. They're called the Ijiji. So they came down and they fucking basically like, hey Ijiji, do our mining for us. And they're like, okay. And then the Ijiji sat here for like tens of thousands of years and did all the work. And then they were like, hey, this fucking sucks, man. We're almost as powerful as you guys. I thought we were supposed to be partners. Why are we doing all the work and you assholes fucking just sit up in Mars and the moon and your spaceships just fucking doing nothing and we're doing all the work? What the fuck? And then, so Enlil and Enki, which are the sons of Anu, the main god, they're like, ah, man, you guys are whiners. And so then Enlil's like, you guys are a bunch of bitches. Shut up, do the work, you little annoying assholes. And Enki's like, man, they're right. So then he goes up to Anu and he's like, hey, man, these guys are complaining. And Anu's like, they're right. They shouldn't be doing all the work. You should reward them. And I'm like, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you should figure something out. Like, create a slave race or something. So the EGG don't have to do all the work by themselves. And they're like, okay. So they start genetically messing around with Homo habilis and Homo erectus and some of these other ancient hominids. And then they supposedly created human beings that they called the Adamu, which is why it's called Adam in the Bible. And the Adamu were basically a slave race. They were trying to create these clones of these Adamu, but it wouldn't work. They kept dying and they couldn't reproduce. They were like basically like human version of mules, right? So one of the goddesses, or the cousin of Enlil and Enki, was basically like, yo, I think it was a cousin or an aunt or something like that, right? There's a whole pantheon of gods. Like, they're all family members and all related, like a giant kingdom, okay? One of them was like, hey, I'm going to have to carry the thing in me. You're going to have to, like, do, like, artificial inseminate. Like,
yeah.
I think the only reason why these things aren't surviving is because we're creating them artificially and they're not being born naturally, right? So that was the key. Here's the thing. So she successfully brought one to term, brought another one, and then those two started mating. And there's supposedly a story that she created 7 boys and 7 girls, and then they all mated, and that's how they were able to keep the DNA and genes and shit from becoming too inbred. They knew about chromosomes and genetics and shit hundreds of thousands of years ago. So we were an experiment, and then when they finally got us right, there was a huge fucking battle. Enlil and Enki got in a fucking giant fucking fight over, basically, we were an abomination. Because Anu and some of the other gods were like, wait a minute, you did what? Like, well, we used part of us to create, we used one of these little monkey things and some of us, and we created these things. And he's like, what? You're not supposed to do, you can't do that, it's against the rules. So apparently there's some kind of laws in the Biru, they're like, you can't take your DNA and just create whole new species of intelligent beings, you fucking moron. What are you doing? And this is almost like the Gene Roddenberry prime objective of like Star Wars or Star Trek.
Okay.
Like you can't go and like mess with a society's evolutionary process.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So Enlil is like, sweet, let's just kill him. We don't need him anyway. We're done. And Enki's like, no, dude, like, we fucking made these things. They worship us like gods. We are like gods to them. We have to take care of them. Like, no, that's not okay. That's almost like killing us now. Like, they're part us.
Okay.
And so they get this big fight, and this is part of what's in the Indian traditions, like the Advaita and some of these where like the gods are battling in their flying vehicles and their Vimana and all this shit. All this shit is so ridiculously documented. It all sounds like fucking crazy Star Wars movies. But this shit's older than every fucking religion on Earth. And this is what's even crazier, dude. All these things morph into all these other stories from Greek and all this other shit. And which gets me back to the Greeks did not have a color for blue or a word for the color blue.
Yeah, that's weird.
And now it's speculated, did the Greeks even see blue? Were they even possible of seeing the color blue? And this basically these researchers are like, yes. They're like, oh, look at the green grass. Look at the yellow flowers. Look at the red blood. Look at the blustery waters. Look at the calm waters. So the waters were described by their action or their almost like their emotional state or something or their state of being. That's the only way to describe the air and water. I'm like, they didn't say like the sky was blue. And they're like, no, the sky was calm.
Wow.
I'm like, what the? Yeah, dude. So anyway, that's my little tangent. Like, yeah, dude. Like, we can literally do entire podcasts just on the crazy insanity that is the fucking phone game of human history.
Wow.
And how this shit, the stories have never changed, just the names and places have slightly changed.
Wow. That's mind-blowing. That really is.
So you literally had no idea about the Anunnaki or none of that shit?
None. Absolute. I peaked when I said the Sumerian tablets were from Sumeria. That's where I peaked.
Yeah.
That was my contribution to the story.
So I literally
everything else I had no idea.
I listened to hours and hours of lectures on this shit.
Wow.
While researching things like, the Greeks can't see blue.
And here I am,
or
busy looking up stories about meth gators in Florida.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, every time we do a tinfoil hat thing, we should like print out a little picture image of what that tinfoil hat subject is, and we're gonna start pinning them up here.
It's like
and we're gonna have little pieces of yarn connecting them all, and it's all gonna make sense eventually.
Oh, that is great!
So I'm saying
this is how the creative process works.
Yes,
Mike comes up with stuff, and I'm like, "That's great, Mike."
It's gonna start with the Anunnaki, and it's gonna end with Ron DeSantis fucking smashing a fucking flaming Elmo into the ground, saying, "Don't call me Meatball Ron anymore, you stupid doll." That's the second time I'm gonna have to put that image up.
With the naked Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Oh man, really? I can't. There's no pictures of that, and we're never gonna get sponsors if we're gonna put up naked pictures of Danny DeVito.
If anybody has naked pictures of Danny DeVito, it's Dolan.
And you know what? Dolan hasn't said anything, but the weird thing about Danny DeVito, that's not Dolan's. That's my weird thing. I'm just forcing it on Dolan. So I'm not going to say at all that I have like a weird thing about maybe seeing Danny DeVito and Dolan embracing each other awkwardly.
Well,
that's definitely not his thing.
I remember the moment you and I became friends, what you said to one of my questions. And
oh, God.
And so, yeah, whatever weirdness you're coming up with right now in Hellscape, I believe it's true.
Yeah.
We'll have to tell that story at some point. I don't know.
Well, when we get a Patreon going, we'll do like Patreon after parties that are not on YouTube.
Okay.
And what's cool is when we do our Patreon, it'll be like $1 a month to subscribe. So it won't. You'll have to pay Patreons. You have to pay to watch, but we'll just make sure it's $1. So we're not gonna like rip you guys off.
Can we tell the original stories on that one? Like
maybe perhaps
the mud shrimp story.
I don't know. Goobs. Goops. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some weird fucking words to that now. I don't even know why.
The mud shrimp story is legendary, and I don't know if we can tell it.
I'm making my gag reflex dance jig already.
Okay.
So, all right, guys, that's gonna have to wrap it up. We're gonna start doing these shorter episodes so we can get more episodes and try to get some more content out there quicker.
Yeah.
The hour-long episode was fun. It took a long time to edit. It took forever to upload, and I've already noticed a lot of my friends and family are like, "Yeah, I made it like 45 minutes through, and then I fell asleep."
The problem is
okay.
we don't have a timer anywhere. I mean, we barely know what we're doing to begin with. At least I proved last episode. I have no idea how to work, talking picture boxes and such. But we're going to try to do. Yeah. So we don't know how long these are going to be, and we end up riffing and just talking. The next thing you know, it's tomorrow.
Exactly. The sun's coming up. We're like, oh my god, I got to go home and go to work 5 minutes ago. But yeah, so and if you haven't noticed, we know you guys don't have to like text us, and if you do want to complain about the production value of the show, fucking do it in the comments so that we can start controversy or something.
Burn us up.
But keep in mind, okay? And hey, not plugged into anything yet. It's fucking office, man. Come on. But we are working on getting more stuff. We are eventually going to be more like a traditional podcast where we're going to have 2 cameras, one facing at me, one facing at Greg, and we have microphones with headphones on. We got a lot of that equipment. I need to get a new computer, and we need some to update some stuff and a little bit more space perhaps. But we're working on it.
Yeah, the one thing that we do not lack is content.
Yes, we have lots of ideas.
We've got like years worth of stuff to talk about. That's going to be really interesting to us and hopefully interesting to you guys too.
Yes. So we got one last segment before we wrap this one up. And Gregor, what do we got?
We are going to do the 20 best-selling musical artists of all time in the United States. But we're not going to talk about 20 of them. We're going to talk about 8 of them because we do top 8s on this show. And the reason is...
because top 10s take way too long, and I like the number 8. And, it's actually...
your birthday is like August 8th.
Yeah, and I just like 8.
Okay, so from number 20 to number 9, in that order, are the top best-selling artists in the United States. Number 20, Van Halen. It's going to be really hard not to comment on these.
It's probably number 20.
Yeah, that's my point. Number 19, Whitney Houston. Number 18, Metallica. Number 17, Mariah Carey. We live in a world where Mariah Carey...
More than Metallica?
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 16, Madonna. 15, Bruce Springsteen. 14, Aerosmith.
Whoa, Aerosmith is above Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
The boss?
Number 13, Rolling Stones. Number 12, Barbra Streisand. Barbra... That's right. Yep, Barbra frickin' Streisand.
Because I can fly higher than an eagle.
I'm disturbed.
The wind beneath my wings.
Was that Barbra Streisand or was that Bette Midler?
Oh, it's Bette Midler. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know any Barbra Streisand then.
The other handsome woman.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one's body and just put the other one's face on it, so it makes sense to me.
You're doing it to yourself now.
I am. Yeah. Damn it.
Right above, right on top of. Okay.
Is Corey Feldman on the list?
Here comes. He was number 21.
Oh shit.
Here comes where the mind of ill repute has got to just move on here. Right on top of Barbra Streisand is George Strait.
I loved how you phrased that.
Number 10, AC/DC.
Okay.
And I think...
like Bon Scott, AC/DC? I didn't think it matters at that point.
Okay, let's... Easy. Because...
You're a Brian fan?
Look, my dog's name was Angus. Okay? So AC/DC has a very, very close place in my heart. Brian Johnson never existed.
Wow.
Nails on a chalkboard. I hated Brian.
Okay.
I said it Bon Scott, number 1.
I don't know the guy's name, but he's a very famous like country and western actor.
Yeah.
Like watching Brian sing is almost like that actor where he's like, let's see if I can do it right. Like, trying to put a laugh here. Like, oh, y'all boys feel like you got some songs you want to sing.
Tom Waits.
Is that his name? I'm gonna find his name. Like,
He looks. He's the kind of guy. He looked like he was 70 when he was 9 years old.
and like, dude, I see like shows of like it's in the 70s, and he's still like, I guess you boys ought to be on your way, I suppose. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. He sounds like he's angry and trying to take a shit at the same time. He's like, I have the worst constipation. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so when Brian sings, that's why I used to picture that and be like, we're gonna sing a little song for you tonight, and it's gonna be Hail Bells.
Yeah,
So,
Tom Waits. Tom Waits.
Can't wait to put that picture on my face while doing the vote. You're welcome. That's
Anyway, AC/DC, Brian Johnson bad, Bon Scott good.
We weren't even supposed to riff yet. God damn it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. At number 9, Pink Floyd.
Wow, Pink Floyd's okay.
Okay, here we
The
go.
top 8 better be
number
fucking
8.
good. You're supposed to say it after that.
Elton John.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. Dress up like a duck.
Benny and the Jets.
Yeah. And when I was in like 3rd grade, we'd go, she's got electric boobs. That was the beginning of the Mineville Repute, I guess.
When this song comes on the radio and you're at an intersection, I'm still dancing. How do you not dance to that? Or I'm still standing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not?
How do you
dance
not
to
dance
that?
Elton John?
You almost immediately have to change it, or else you'll have to dance.
Number 7.
Knock over the
This
whole
is gonna.
production.
We're already gonna start pissing people off at the list. Number 7, Michael Jackson.
I guess the king of pop.
I thought he would have been a little bit higher.
But what did he ever put out that was rockin'? Or I guess this is not rock. This is just artist.
This is artist. Yeah.
Okay, what's his way? Yeah.
And again, the Mineville Repute is going to leapfrog this. Right on top of Michael Jackson is Billy Joel,
But guess
the
what?
Piano Man.
Billy Joel's parents did not chemically castrate him so he could keep his angelic singing voice.
What?
Tinfoil hat time! Yeah, so I'm just scrolling through my research, and this guy's like being interviewed, and he's like, yeah, did you know that Michael Jackson's parents chemically castrated him at an extremely young age? Because once the Jackson 5 became fucking huge, they were terrified that when he hit puberty, same thing was going to happen to him that happened to his brothers. Like,
Wow.
they lost their singing voices. And they're like, not the golden goose. Here, take these little pills. And the reason that they say this is because they're saying it so affected his body's ability to have puberty, where that could have possibly led to a lot of his medical conditions later on. And he literally...
Did it make his nose go like this?
that was just them trying to make him young, and he had the fucking alopecia and shit too. So, but literally, they were like, the dude literally had like the body of a fucking 13-year-old his entire life. They like show pictures of him with his shirt on, no muscle definition, dude. He's like a scrawny little kid, and he's like fucking 38 in these pictures. I'm like, holy, what?
Right now, I'm picturing. Here's the leap. Now I'm picturing like the little dude that was inside the body in Men in Black.
That's actually Michael. It's like, this is my little robot android, Michael. Oh, dude, like, stop coming up with that shit, because now I'm going to have to come up with some kind of picture or something.
Wow.
That's the only real entertainment value the show brings, is my graphics, apparently.
Number 5. Well, yeah, in our witty banter.
And what's awesome is that we're actually secretly watching the greatest Corey Phil
We're still watching the Corey
from the last episode.
Yeah.
And that was the last
but
time
now
I was here.
He's got a hat on now.
He did? Yeah, and it's certainly not a fedora like Michael Jackson.
No, he's so trying to be Michael Jackson. Oh, the way...
Anyway, back to the
number
list.
5. Number 5, the Eagles.
The Eagles, okay.
That's legit.
Yeah,
okay. Number 4, Led Zeppelin.
That checks out.
Number 3, Elvis Presley.
He is the king of rock. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if Elvis Presley was out today...
And by default, if you've had albums out for that long, you better be this high on the list, man.
Yeah, because he started in like the 1700s. Yeah.
Like, sorry, Billy Joel, but he beat you by a few decades.
Okay, number two, and I... Don't look. Number two, and I knew this musical act had
I should get
a
prepared.
high number.
And I'm certainly not drinking the beer that was from the last episode.
Do you want to do like a 20 question thing, or do you just want me to tell you what it is?
Just tell me what it is.
Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is the number 2 best-selling musical act in the history of the United States.
Shut up and get out of your own house.
Not Chris Gaines, but Garth Brooks.
Chris Gaines, you know what's fucked up, dude.
Here we go.
I can't remember what late night show it was. It was like David Letterman or one of those shows. But I didn't know that was Garth Brooks. I like come out of the kitchen, I sit down, and he's playing this song, and I'm like, dude, this guy fucking rocks. Who the fuck is this guy? He looks a weird, like, little emo and shit with his little emo hair and
his
shit. Little soul patch thingy.
Thing.
And like, so dude, for all this, I was like, did you guys hear this Chris Gaines guy? Like, there was like, who? This Chris Gaines guy, I saw him on TV, he's legit. And then, dude, like a couple of months later, somebody was like, no, that's Garth Brooks. And I was like, no, I saw him on TV. His name's Chris Gaines. Like, no, dude. Like, that was fake. And I'm like, what do you mean it's fake? They're like, so they were going to make a movie, and they were filming all this shit for the fucking movie, and then the movie ended up not getting made. But then they have all these, like, fake pictures and fake fucking album
I didn't
covers.
know it was all because of a movie. I thought...
But they were doing the live performances, so when they used them in the movie, they were legit.
See, I thought that was just Garth Brooks going, this is how much money I have.
No, what it was actually basically real live art performance music written by a real live artist pretending to be this other guy that was going to be for a movie. But that was also part of the marketing. That they're like, oh, you want to see the movie? Well, this is how awesome the music is, and this is what they're doing live. Wait for the movie to come out. And then it fucking never came out.
You know what that Garth Brooks, Chris
He
Gaines...
shouldn't be number 2 just because of the movie never coming out.
It reminds me of Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton. That was a thing way back when.
Oh, yeah. When
Tony,
he's like, up there like the wedding singer guy.
Yeah, he was
all
like
fucking crass and shit.
Yeah, and Kaufman, even at his worst time when he was down and everything, he never fessed up. I mean, everybody knew that it was Andy Kaufman, but he never gave it up.
Yeah, and like to me, Andy Kaufman is the greatest live performance, ongoing art piece ever. He was his own living art piece, and people are like, he's crazy. No, dude, he was a fucking living, walking art piece that never got out of character when he was on TV. So that was the genius of his comedy, dude. And did you hear about the Jim Carrey shit, The Man on the Moon? Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Have you seen the documentary about the movie?
I might have.
Dude, Jim Carrey.
No, I did see
that. He like meditated and like did all this shit to get prepared for this fucking movie and shit. And like to this day, he swears that he somehow invoked the spirit of Andy Kaufman, and Andy Kaufman partially took over for the entire filming of that movie. And his mannerisms were on point. Everything was on point. Do you remember in the documentary, Danny DeVito had conversations with Jim Carrey.
Bob Zamuda in the movie.
Who, Danny DeVito's?
Yeah.
I thought it was Louis. Or
no, in the
show
Man
Taxi.
in the Moon, he was Louis in Taxi, but in the movie Man in the Moon, he was Bob Zamuda.
Well, I don't care about the actor. I'm just talking about the documentary.
Okay.
Right, but anyway. But good name reference.
Yay.
I'll try to put a picture up there.
I'm still reeling from the whole
right?
other world, not knowing anything.
Anunnaki shit.
Yeah.
So basically, they're interviewing Danny DeVito, and he's like, "Dude, I don't think this is he's not acting. He literally had a conversation with me that me and Andy had in private. There's no way he could know that. Andy is dead, and I didn't tell him. How in the hell did he know about that conversation?"
Wow.
And he was like, what is it, Christopher Lloyd also was like Jim?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Dude, he was like, whoa. It was like, when you look in Jim's eyes, you're looking at Andy. It's so fucking bizarre, dude. So he claims that I didn't even really act in that movie. I let Andy be Andy.
Wow.
And whether he's fucking full of shit or 100%, we'll never know. But that's more tinfoil hat shit.
Well, I also feel like this was like a kind of a way to, as an homage to one of our best listeners, because somehow we worked Danny DeVito back into the podcast.
I'm telling you,
Again.
we are gonna get that fucking picture.
I
We
think-
will will it into existence.
I think Danny DeVito just became our patron saint.
And you know what? Did I mention that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is my favorite show of all time? Charlie Day.
Wow.
He's my faves.
And when I was in
I'm not
college,
pandering at all.
when I was in college, I watched Cheers with Rhea Perlman,
There you go.
who's married to Danny DeVito.
You know, there's a whole new season out, and she's in the new season.
Of what?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I
There's
thought
a new
you
season
were
out.
going to say Cheers. I'm like, no.
No, she actually has some scenes in some episodes in
Wow.
the new season. So I was like, oh, I finally brought her in! Yay!
Number
But
one.
yeah.
Number
Go.
one musical act of all time? The Beatles.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's only
She loves
16.
you, yeah, yeah.
Only 16.
Wow. So, you know, I'm not shocked by that. Again, just like Elvis, dude. I mean, if you've been around that long, by default,
Yeah.
you better have more record sales.
Yeah, they were pretty big at the time.
And what's even fucking stupider about that is, you know, that their record sales were generational in a way that had to keep up with technology. So guys like my dad, right?
Yeah.
That
No,
motherfucker
good
bought
point.
the vinyl.
Right.
And then when cassette tapes came out, he rebought all the same albums on cassette tape. And then when CDs came out, he rebought all the fucking box sets on CD. And then when the fucking iTunes came out, we got to download all the digital shit. So these people literally, they're millionaires because their fan base had to rebuy their fucking albums every time a new medium came out.
Well, the Beatles are 30 million records higher than Garth Brooks.
That is 29,999,980 more than 67.
67?
Yep. I'm not good at math. Greg will be like, no, you're way off. It's a little bit more than that, but it's close. It's close.
You're published. You're out
Hey,
there.
we have a few songs.
You played at the Whiskey A Go Go.
We have a few songs that have over 100,000 spins.
You
So,
sat in a
10,000 was like a fucking big thing for me. 100,000, I was like, 10 more of those, it's a million. Shit.
Oh, look.
Is that right?
What kind of jacket is this now?
Oh, you didn't know. He changes his jacket for every
He's
song.
wearing like a glittery Johnny Bravo
Yeah.
Brady Bunch jacket thing.
God damn it. Now that's a fucking like keep.
Let
I'm
me
gonna have to
give
bring
you
these
the
videos
timestamp.
back.
It's at
1930.
1930.
All right. Well,
Okay.
shit. That's gonna have to wrap
That's
it up.
really
for
gotta wrap
episode
it up.
3. Yeah.
Are we
So, bring up Patriot song. Ah! So, he took his shirt off finally. There you go. There's the money shot, baby.
Oh, God.
The money shot. Because he's got the moves like Jagga. He's got the moves like Jagga. He's got that moves like Jagga. All right. Crank that shit up. This is a 627 Patriot song. And until next time, guys, keep it strange, y'all.
inappropriate and weird? No number 2 stories.
Later.
Yo, Studios.